messing with some raw dudes, wrestling, talking, raw views, previews, recaps, and interviews. Definition of professional, tell me what you expected though. Facts are checked when information's collected, yo. We body slamming all these wrestling brands, but of course that's the case when A&T's on hand. We going head to head, this ain't a ratings war. Now's your chance to chat with Steven, what you waiting for?
Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of Raw Views. My name is Steven. It is Monday, March 1st. It's March already, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's already March of 2021. It is my son's birthday this month. He will be 8, and that is just crazy to me. But this morning, I'm not here to break down SmackDown yet. Nope, that'll be on my show later today. It'll release around 2-3 o'clock. My SmackDown recap. You'll be able to listen to that. Tomorrow will be my Raw recap, and then of course tonight we have Monday Night Raw. I will be live chatting that on Twitter. You can find me at view_raw. But again, here this morning, I am here to break down the biggest news stories from the weekend. And the first piece of news was a pretty big deal over the weekend, got everybody talking. NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, pulled its content from YouTube and also tons of t-shirts and merchandise from ProWrestlingTees.com, and it got people talking, wondering if the company was shutting down or moving. If you followed it on Twitter all weekend, you will see numerous reports out stating that this was a good thing happening for the National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA, and well, I have heard that as well. I have heard, as many others have reported, that the NWA is filming new content and will be finding a new home for its content. Uh, Many initially thought that the AEW brand, Tony Khan, would possibly purchase the NWA. Dave Meltzer early on in all of this stated no, it was not AEW related, but you would hear something in a few days. I had heard you would hear something in about 72 hours, meaning it would be about Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, when the news would drop on where they were going to land. I can tell you now the two names I hear the most is WWE and Fight. Fight, of course, is a streaming platform specifically for sports and combat sports content. They host a lot of pay-per-views. NWA being on their platform, giving them weekly content would be good for them. Um, WWE, it is pretty well known that initially the NWA and WWE had talks to potentially put the NWA on the WWE Network. The WWE Network has now moved under Peacock, and of course, they are going to continue to need new content for the network. I believe the biggest driver to why people believe they could be going to WWE is due to them pulling so much merchandise from Pro Wrestling Tees. Now, it is worth noting there are quite a few reporters out there who have stated that it is not WWE or AEW related, that it is somewhere else. So, there are tons of streaming outlets out there. It'll be interesting to see where they do land, but the two most common names I continue to hear is Fight and the WWE, but it could be elsewhere. Who knows at this point? I'm looking forward to finding out exactly where they will land, and we'll be here to discuss that when they do land in their new home. Also, over the weekend, Enzo and Cass made their return to the ring at Lariato Professional Wrestling in Georgia. Many noted that there weren't many mask in attendance at the event. However, Enzo and Cass back in our ring in a surprise fashion. Actually, I believe Luke Gallows was the first person that I saw that tweeted a picture of them, and everybody's reaction was the same. Holy cow, Cass looks jacked. I would be surprised if they didn't find a home within the next few months. WrestleVotes, a infamous or famous Twitter account, wrestling Twitter account specifically for WWE's news, did tweet over the weekend that just seeing now that Enzo and Big Cass showed up on a live event last night, Good for them. I know for 100% fact capitalized, they still have supporters within WWE. No idea if that means anything though. I said myself, I believe Enzo and Cass is a low risk, high reward option for someone like WWE who is in desperate need to fix their tag team divisions. And with 3 shows, they need lots of tag teams. At one point, they were one of the hottest acts in all of wrestling. You have to wonder if WWE looks at them after a few months, sees that, okay, maybe they are worth taking another chance on, bringing them in, and adding some personalities and trying to catch lightning in a bottle again. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Enzo and Cass moving forward. And finally, Ethan Page, formerly of Impact Wrestling, has finally dropped a video after going pretty dark on social media for a while. If you haven't seen the video, you can go watch it. There's not much to it. It's him laying down and then him standing up and smiling, almost as if he has found his new home. At the end of the video, it does say, "See you soon." Of course, there are many different major events coming up in wrestling. This coming weekend is AEW Revolution. March 3rd has been a pretty loaded day for both NXT and AEW, and you would also assume that the following NXT and AEW shows will also be pretty loaded shows as well. Um, this is generally something that we've seen when a talent is going to AEW. They put out these promo videos like this. So it wouldn't surprise me if he does end up in AEW. Everything that I had heard prior to the weekend was that many believed he was NXT bound. Many people believed he was NXT bound. Now, it is interesting that this video does coincide with the fact that the WWE just brought in a ton of new NXT signees. Not all of them were reported, by the way. So it's very interesting. It leads many to believe multiple different scenarios here. So I'm gonna paint a few for you. He could show up at Revolution. Revolution is supposed to have a 6-person ladder match to determine the number 1 contender for the TNT Championship. NXT, like I said, has a couple big events to kind of offset AEW's big events a little bit. You know, they're competing for those viewers on Wednesday night. So you have to wonder, is Ethan Page going to debut this week? My money says that we probably see him on television in the next 7 to 10 days. I think that we probably see him on an event within the next 10 days, and if he's AEW bound, you probably see him this weekend. So if you're a fan of Ethan Page, I think the wait is almost over. He has taken his banner down. He has taken his profile picture down. He has stripped down a lot of his social media. If you do recall, however, he was quite upset with the way he was, how things with Impact Wrestling did end. You'll have to wonder with AEW and Impact's working relationship if he is going to end up there or if that was a part of the whole work here. So it'll be very interesting, but I do think that within the next 10 days, you will see Ethan Page on wrestling programming. And that's it for today's news report. I hope you enjoyed this. Tonight, once again, Monday Night Raw, Bobby Lashley takes on The Miz for the WWE Championship, and there's plenty of rumors and news surrounding that. It looks, if the news and rumors are correct, we probably see Drew McIntyre return after a 1-week hiatus, and get involved in some way, leading us to a potential triple threat, which I have predicted at Fastlane. So be sure to check that out. Follow me on Twitter at view_raw, where I will be live chatting Monday Night Raw as I do every single week. And once again, please subscribe, give the thumbs up. Did you like this news report in the morning? Do you like this? Also, check out my SmackDown recap later today, where I will be breaking down everything SmackDown and telling you why it is probably the best wrestling show on all of television. And until then, be awesome.